Show. Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to another LTS show. I am your host, Bodkins. Oh, man, I don't even know where to begin tonight. We got lots of things going on. Right now, I flipped it to the baseball game. We got College World Series on. It's 3-1. This is like their final. This is the final game. Tennessee's up 3-1. But A&M is looking to strike here, 1 out, 2 on. So go ahead, run is at the plate. And if you don't know, College World Series, I think they play 7 innings. So this is top of the 6th. So and then on the hockey version, I was watching the hockey game, but they're at intermission for the end of the first period. That was a lot of fun. The first period, 1-1. Florida scores. Oilers bounce right back and say, nah, not today. 1-1. I'm rooting for the Oilers because I want old girl to, dump them out. So that's, what I mean. If I would have seen a Panthers girl dump them out, I probably would have rooted for the Panthers, but I only seen an Oilers fan dump them out. So I decided I'm all in on the Oilers. Plus Connor McDavid is an absolute machine and stud. But I'm kind of partial because Kachuk's from St. Louis, obviously, so he's kind of a Missouri kid too. So, but nonetheless, that's tied 1-1. I don't understand a damn rule about hockey as I was watching it. I don't watch a whole lot, admittingly so. I don't understand a single rule, but it is a lot of fun. It is Game 7, nonetheless, of the Stanley Cup too. So it's the best 2 words in sports is Game 7. So and we're getting that tonight. Take a note, NBA. I mean, I feel like the hockey playoffs have been pretty good. Chatting with Jim Biringer, who was live at Game 7 tonight, there to see history being made. Will the Oilers be like the first team to come back down 3-0 since Scott Cobe was, in his 30s back in the 50s. So, happy Monday to you, Daniel Berry. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. We'll talk to the guys all about the hockey, the baseball, plus, little WNBA action. Speaking of the WNBA, we'll start there with my guy, Johnny Cruz. Johnny, first, you obviously live down in Florida. I know not quite Miami, but what's the mood? You got a lot of Panther friends as they've kind of choked this thing away. They were up 3-0 and everybody said Game 6, like, hey, they gave Game 5. They're going to do the Boston thing and win a game, or they're going to win Game 5. They gave away Game 4, but the Oilers said not so fast. Won Game 5 in Florida, won Game 6 back at home, and now we're at Game 7.
Yeah, they're for lack of a better term, they're pretty tight right now. But no, shout out to them. Shout out to Byron. Shout out to Alex. Both of them. We do a Dolphin show together. It actually aired a little while ago, so we spoke a little bit about the Florida Panthers. So I am rooting for the Panthers for their sake. I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, but I am rooting for Florida for their sake. But no, it's unfortunately this thing does happen in hockey where a team can come back. We've seen it before, not a bunch of times, especially in a final.
I mean, usually 3-1 or like, you know what I mean? Like, but not 3-0. You know what I mean? Yeah. It hasn't happened in the Stanley Cup, they said, in 50 years.
Right. But, you get hot with a good goaltender, you know what I'm saying, can lead you through a series. And the speed of Edmonton has just been showing up something fierce. Those are some of the best offensive players. Obviously, Connor McDavid is one of the best players in all of hockay.
There's people joining right now. I know you weren't joining on Thursday, and I wish Jim was here to tell us. There's people who I've heard interviews say that they're putting him on Gretzky level, like as good as, if not better than, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually mentioned it on the show earlier when we were talking about it. He's definitely the best player in hockey right now. He's definitely a great talent. But can we stop with the comparing? You know what I'm saying? Like Wayne Gretzky, there's a reason why they call him the great one, and it's not just because it was catchy with his last name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a phenomenal hockey player, the greatest hockey player of all time. Can we stop trying to put people, you know what I'm saying, because they're great right now doesn't mean that they are as great as Wayne Gretzky. I think there's a crazy stat out there where if you took all of Wayne Gretzky's goals out, he would still have
be the
more
all-time
points,
leader,
more points than anybody else in NHL history. So let's pump the brakes with the, as good as Wayne Gretzky. Is he talented? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? He's a phenomenal player right now. But let's pump the brakes with the whole Wayne Gretzky thing. But he's definitely the best player in hockey right now. Florida won a lot of their games with their physicality and their defense and good goaltending. And they ran roughshod across the East to get to this final. And then you saw in the first three games where they were just swarming all over Edmonton. They lost game 4, 8-1, and we were wondering, is it just a little blip or whatever? We asked Jim that a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden here we are. It's tied 3-3. Like you said, the best two words in sports, game 7. So I'm excited for it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's tied 1-1 in the first intermission, so we'll see what happens. But thank God for this after that horrible NBA finals.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
We definitely needed this.
My only gripe about hockey is I don't like that. I told you off there, I don't like the 2 intermissions. Like, I don't need 2 15-minute.
Yeah,
just, you know what I mean.
Well, they gotta get the ice back and ready to go.
I get it. I get why we do it. I just don't want it. Before we bring anybody else in, Johnny, real quick, I wanted to get. It seems like they're playing every week now. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. What an incredible game that was yesterday. Yeah. Down to the wire. I do think Caitlin's starting to get it going. I think the Fever are starting to get it going. We talked about it, but Angel Reese yesterday showed, why she is, in her words, a dog. She absolutely balled out yesterday as well.
Yeah, she absolutely, had a phenomenal game. She's a double machine. She's a phenomenal rebounder, and she. She basically schooled Nalissa Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was dominating her. I'm with you, Caitlin. She is starting to get into a flow. Her and Aaliyah Boston are getting a good chemistry thing going. Like my thing is, and it was a fun, exciting game, and props to Chicago for winning that game. But like, where are the adjustments on defending Angel Reese? Like, you basically just let homegirl get cooked the entire game. Didn't try to make any kind of adjustment to that. And then it's like some of the sets that she doesn't run any sets for Caitlin. Like she's one of the greatest shooters of in women's basketball in basketball history, period. And you're not running plays for her
in the final shot. You don't go to her. You know what I mean? I get it, trying to get to Aaliyah Boston, but it seems like Caitlin's starting to get in a flow with it. She is get more in the passing mentality right
which
now.
Apparently that's something that's been coming out, is that like she's being stressed to be a pass first point guard, and while she is a phenomenal passer and all that, don't try to like handcuff her. Don't handcuff her. Let her ball out.
Coach,
and then of
course, I hate to say it, but
I was against you in the beginning of the season when you mentioned that, but when you watch it, you know what I'm saying, like some of the rotations that she does, you know what I'm saying, like she's got the 1 point guard Wheeler that was with her in Atlanta. Like, she always has her in the game at the end of the game, and homegirl don't do nothing but not give the ball to Caitlin Clark. Like, she refuses to give the ball to Caitlin Clark, bro, for real. You know what I'm saying? She can't shoot. She misses wide open layups. Like, why is she even in the game at the end of the game? Some of the decisions making by the coach is ridiculous, but not to take anything away from Chicago. It was a fun matchup. You know what I'm saying?
And the rivalry continues. And
it's going to grow into something better. I mean, like, that was a packed house there. It was a lot of fun. It was an exciting game, but you're up 15 points. You know, you gotta win that game. And again, she made no kind of. I mean, Angel Reese was just eating that ass, and no kind of adjustment to like help this girl out. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, you don't run any plays, no double, nothing. and you got one of the better defenders on your bench, and she never gave her no playing time at all. You know what I'm saying? And again, how do you not have set run plays for Caitlin Clark? You know what I'm saying? Like they had this one double screen that she comes running off of, but that's it. That's the only set play that you ever see for Caitlin Clark. Like you should have 4, 5, 6 different ways to get Caitlin an open shot. So I don't know, man. I mean, she may be in over her head a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with that.
I don't want to say that, you know, I mean, I don't want to call for anybody getting fired, but you know what I mean? When you ain't doing your job right, you're
right.
She's obviously the pressure's on her too.
Right.
But I'll say this as well, real quick, and then we'll move. Here's my theory. So the Iowa head coach, Bruder, just retired.
Yeah.
You don't think if I'm the Indiana Fever, I fire that coach and I'm giving Bruder a call. I know you just retired from Iowa. That means you're free and available. So why not at least why not come at least be an assistant, and then we can figure this out together? Because we saw what she did for Caitlin Clark in that offense that she ran there in Iowa. Why not? Why not do the marriage into the WNBA?
I'm with you as far as like her being an assistant coach. There's other coaches that are more qualified to be the head coach that'll know how to use Caitlin properly. And that's the other thing too, is like they were killing Chicago with the pick and roll with her and Aaliyah Boston, and then you go completely away from it in the fourth quarter.
You listen to the show, Johnny, because we've been calling for a pick and roll. I've been calling for pick and roll.
Yes. And they finally had a week of practice. They finally had some time to work on it, and it was getting better, and it was working in this game. And then you don't run it anymore. How are you gonna have Caitlin Clark? How does she only shoot the ball 4 times in the second half? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, so something's going on, and then for Coach Sides to say at the end of the game that when there was like 10 seconds left and Chicago missed a free throw, oh well, she had the ball in her hands. I thought she was gonna either go to the rim or do, get a pull up jumper to win the game or something like that. That would have been a good shot. Like, so you just threw her under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Basically said she didn't make the right play. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. There's a lot deep. There's something going on there. I don't think she's sabotaging like some people are going nuts saying that she's sabotaging. I just think she got completely out coached by Teresa Weatherspoon yesterday. And I just think if you put somebody in there with a little more experience as a coach in the WNBA, I think the sky's the limit, because between Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have a top 2 or 3 pick again this year.
They've been winning. They were
dude. They need a little bit more size. They actually need somebody next to Caitlin Clark that can get their own shot besides Wheeler that's there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, but I just think she got out coached there, and I don't know what the problem is, but I would not be surprised if they need to upgrade at the head coach position for the Indiana Fever, definitely.
Yeah. Let's we'll switch. We'll bring in a Hall of Famer. I mentioned at the top of the show that the Oilers are trying to become the first team to come back 3-0. Since like the 50s when this guy was in his 30s. So he'll be able to tell us all about it. When hockey, the goalies weren't even wearing masks. Give it up for our own Hall of Famer, Scott Coe. Scott, what's up, my man?
Not much. How you guys doing? First of all, bite your tongue with that NBA talk. It was a glorious NBA. It was glorious. Number 2, I have the Oilers and Tennessee Volunteers with the Celtics on a parlay plus 2,100. Nice. So the sweat is real tonight. For sure. For sure.
Who else did you looking at betting on, Scott?
I bet a lot of the college baseball. I bet over 10.5. That doesn't look like it's coming through. I bet Tennessee to win.
3-1 in the 7th.
Yeah, Tennessee to win, obviously. I bet the Oilers to win, obviously. And I did a parlay Royals Dodgers money line. Nice. Dodgers are in Chicago against the White Sox. KC's playing Miami. I figured that's as easy as you can get, but the Dodgers are not making it easy, so.
Yeah, and speaking of the Volunteers, Tennessee, if they win, they'd be the first team in college baseball since Johnny ZU back in the 90s to win the whole thing as the number 1 seed.
Yeah, it's like a disease when you get the number 1 seed overall in the baseball tournament. You can't win. You can't win. Peyton Manning's there tonight. Jeff Kent's there tonight. The Heupel, the football coach from Tennessee. There's a few guys out there tonight from.
Yeah, I think Morgan Wallen was there yesterday.
Nice.
Plus I can't think of his other name. Another country singer was there too, off the top of my head.
And the most important thing is Tennessee won the Jell-O shot buying contest in Omaha. So congratulations.
Yeah, speaking of Mr. Tennessee, we'll bring in he's watching his Vols win right now. Give it up for Mr. First Base, we'll call him tonight, Sam D.
He's not watching the Volunteers, he's watching the Guardians, I'll bet you.
No. It's orange today, Bubba. It's orange.
Oh, it's orange? Okay.
Yeah, I am tight right now. I am so tight. Oh boy. I'm gonna be sick. You're saying like the number 1 seed and stuff, and I'm like,
Sam, you want to speak about tight? I got the Volunteers to win the NCAA tournament, which they look good right now. The Oilers to win the Stanley Cup, and the Celtics to win the NBA. So if you think you're tight, man, my ass cheeks are tight as anything. So
Scott, you're obviously probably a more hockey aficionado than the rest of us three. What have the Oilers done here to kind of get back in this thing? Because it did seem like after they won Game 4, everybody just chalked it up. Game 5, Florida's going to win this thing at home. They just got spooked by the Stanley Cup being there. They'll go back home and handle business much like your Boston Celtics did. And then instead, the Oilers win Game 5 and Game 6 back in Edmonton. And here we are, Game 7.
I think this has been a tale of two series. I think Connor McDavid, the first 3 games, did nothing. And in the second 3 games, he's shown up. And as soon as Connor McDavid showed up, the whole Edmonton Oilers team decided, we're going to show up too and play. And they've solved the riddle of Bobrovsky in goal. And if you solved him, and you've seen Bobrovsky in these finals, once he has one bad game, it just goes right on top of the other. In goal, you can't have a bad game against Edmonton. If you do, they're going to eat you alive with an offense. Their offense is, I think they're the number 1 offense in NHL history in terms of goals and stuff. I think I read that today. And if that's the case, then Bobrovsky's got his hands completely full because the top 5 scorers in the playoffs this year, all Edmonton Oilers. Top 5.
I know Pecan Subban said that he felt like the long period, how long this playoffs has run, has made Bobrovsky aged a little bit. It's made him look old, and maybe it's finally caught up to him the last 2 or 3 games. Really, since Game 3 of that third period, where the Oilers scored like 3 goals, they just have not. They've outplayed the Panthers in every game since. Every period.
My thing is, I use a goalie's mentality the same as a starting pitcher's mentality,
or a closer, really more of a closer.
Or a closer. If you get rattled and you start second guessing yourself, you're not pitching your best. You're not playing goal your best. You're just not doing anything. And like a starting quarterback that throws 3 interceptions, a young starting quarterback in the NFL, they start second guessing themselves and start holding the ball a little bit longer. So if you're in goal and you start giving goals up, you start saying, am I going to get it back? What is going on here? I don't know what's going on. And then you start second guessing yourself. You let in a soft goal. All of a sudden, And the other thing is, Edmonton beats Florida. Florida's going to travel 2,500 miles back up to down to Florida for Game 5. They don't want to do that. They wanted to wrap it up at 4. Edmonton wins. Then they got to go all the way back to Canada again for Game 6. That's a lot of miles you're putting on your body.
That's both teams having to make that trip though. So it's not like Edmonton, it's not like Edmonton, teleported back home to and Florida had to fly. So they both had to make that travel. I'm with you on that one. I think it's more of you made a comment about it kind of catching up.
Go to your room.
Bobrovsky. I think not only him, but I think the whole Florida Panthers team, like the whole playoff run has all been about all physicality and just attacking the other team. So I'm just wondering if it kind of just wore them out as they got hit to the end. It almost seems like They didn't clinch it in 4 like they could have, or even 5, and now they're just kind of worn out. And you've got the speed of Edmonton is showing itself. But Florida has made some bad penalties and put themselves in bad situations. But it's not just the goalie. Their defense was one of the best defenses during this whole playoff run, and they haven't been in these last couple games. So it's not just the goalie. Yeah, I hear you on the goalie, but Florida as a whole has to play better team hockey, and they haven't these past 3 games.
Agreed. Before you go, Nick, I talked to Jim today. I was DMing him on Twitter, and I asked him flat out, does he think Bobrovsky is going to have one of those games, one of those stand on your head? And he said no. So he thinks Bobrovsky is basically cooked in this game tonight.
Well, he's done so far. I mean, it's 1-1, and right now Edmonton's on a power play. So.
And the Florida head coach 4-0 in Game 7s in his coaching career. 4-0.
Like I said, it's gonna take the whole Florida team. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not gonna be able to stand on his head. He's a really good goalie, but he is an older goalie. Like they have to play better defense in front of him than they have these last couple games. They just haven't been able to. And again, Edmonton's speed has really shown itself. Again, it's 1-1 here with a few minutes into the second period. If the Florida Panthers can play the type of defense that they play throughout the entire playoffs, not just the final, I think they have absolutely a good chance to win this game. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a reason why Edmonton is in this final. It's because you know what I'm saying they could score with anybody. So it's been a fun series, man.
Is the pressure on Florida or is it on the Oilers? Because like Connor McDavid's the best player, right? Like hands down, I think everybody's in agreement there. But his team was down 0-3, and now so is it on the pressure on him to like, hey, this is Game 7, I got to perform like I'm the best player, compared to Wayne Gretzky, or is the pressure on the Panthers who were up 3-0 and should have handled business and put this away?
I think it's all in Florida.
I think it's all in Florida.
Yeah, you're in Game 7. You're supposed to win it. You should have won the series a week ago, and you didn't do it. The whole thing is you're at home. You were up 3-0. You should have put it away. You didn't. Now Edmonton, hey, we're just going to go out and play and see what happens. They were down 3-0.
I mean, they still have the – I mean, there's still pressure because it is Connor McDavid and all this and that, and you've gotten this far. But, yeah, there's got to be more pressure on Florida because you know what I'm saying you're forever gonna.
Bye, Orioles.
Not only did they were in the final last year. You know what I'm saying? So everything was about finishing it off and you know what I'm saying and making the run this year. And they were this close to ending it in 4 or 5 games. They let that slip. So yeah, the pressure's on them because they were up 3-0.
And here's what I'll say:
if Edmonton doesn't win it, then it's gonna be like, oh well, they made it interesting. They got it to 7 at least, you know what I'm saying? But if Florida loses this, all you're going to hear about is how they were up 3-0 and choked it away.
Yeah. This game gets down to the final 10 minutes and it's still 1-1. Florida is going to feel it big time because any mistake they make, a giveaway in their zone, a penalty, a coaching decision, a guy gets beat, whatever it may be, they'll think that's the end of the series. Edmonton's going to score a goal. So all the pressure, the more it stays tied, Florida starts feeling more and more pressure on themselves. So they better score like a goal or two in this period because if they don't,
I don't know. I think the more the lower scoring and the closer the game is more in Florida's advantage. If you notice, I mean, Edmonton has averaged like 5 goals the last 3 games. Yeah, so if it's a 1-1, 2-1 type game, I think that will fit into Florida's style of play better than if it's just a wide open, you know what I'm saying, 4-3, 5-4 type of game. So
I think it's going to go to overtime. Let's do
it. 2-1 in overtime. 2-1 in overtime would be great.
It's basically the middle of the second period, and they have 11 shots for Florida, 9 for Edmonton. So that's
it's pretty even. It's pretty even.
Yeah. I mean, this is Florida's type of game. They grind you out.
Every shot that you watch is just like, oh, this could be you know what I mean? Like it's intense right now. Right. buttholes are tight. Speaking of buttholes being tight, Sam, Tennessee got out of the jam there in the 6th. What would this, if Tennessee wins, what does this mean for, all of Tennessee and the Volunteers if they win the College World Series?
It will be absolutely huge. They will be able to tell Vanderbilt, hey, we can do it too. And most importantly, Tony Vitello, man, that guy is just he's a great coach. He is fantastic. And I think if they win it, he might be starting to hear some phone calls or something like that. But, that guy is a one-man show, and he has really pushed this team to their limit to try to get him there. And hopefully he steadies the waters here, because right now you have a rookie pitcher, a freshman pitcher pitching, and it's just, it's nerve-wracking. It's absolutely nerve-wracking. But it'll be great. It'll be awesome. And it's really hot down in Omaha right now. Feels like 100.
It's 100 here. It felt like in Missouri today it was over 100. So where I'm at. So
see, now they're starting to struggle. They've got 2 on base. He walked 1. So here we go. Yeah, now it's Tupperware now. It's Tupperware. It is just Tupperware. Yeah, go out there, talk to him.
And typically, it's been noted that the usual. Well, we already talked about the number 1 seed usually losing. But also the team who loses the first game usually tends to lose even the third game, and that's what Tennessee had to do, because it's tougher to win back to back, because that second game it's all everybody on deck. Where A&M yesterday kind of held their closer a little bit and didn't pitch them, and maybe things would have been a little bit different. Had it, they've been up, 2 runs instead of 1 run, and it's not all hands on deck that second game, where it was all hands. No matter, we got to throw anybody and everybody. The whole kitchen.
We have to stop them.
Yeah, and then you got to turn around and do the same thing again.
Yeah, this is what makes a medal of a college pitcher. 3-1, 2 guys on, 1 out. He's like holding the ball really. I'm watching the game. The game's on next.
He's tight. You think I'm tight? That guy is he's rigid.
Oh yeah,
and the freshman.
He doesn't want to throw the ball right now. It looks like he just wants to.
They went out there and talked to him. I'm surprised they weren't go have a seat. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're tight.
Well, they're warming somebody up in the bullpen now. So yeah, this is. I mean, look at this kid. This kid's got the deer in the headlights look in his eyes right now. Like, I don't really want to throw the ball. Do I have to throw it?
Yeah, I don't really.
He's throwing it hard.
I mean, I was about to say just what 6-8 months ago he was in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You're saying props to him. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he can calm himself down and make some pitches here.
Nate Snead here. He's got. I mean, sweat just dripping down him right now.
Yeah. Look how he's standing too. He's
he's like, oh my god.
Every time this guy hits it, he's
the thing that I'm looking at in this game right now, if Texas A&M does not chase, he'll walk the ballpark. This kid's not throwing strikes. He's throwing it outside the strike zone.
Yeah, he wants to play with him.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's afraid to stay near the middle. I mean, look at him.
He just chased after that one. He
would have had ball 4 because he chased one earlier.
Yeah.
He's scared after death. Poor kid.
They should take this kid
warm him up right now.
Well, they got 2 guys warming up in the bullpen. They should take this kid out and put an experienced kid in, because this kid might give the lead up here.
Yeah, that's the other.
You got him to fly out right there. There's 2 outs.
Yep.
Now you can breathe a little bit. I feel like they might get him. You can breathe a little bit. You know what I mean? It helps.
If he gets out of this inning, he might collapse in the dugout, faint in the dugout. After.
I will collapse in the dugout if he forgets.
Check his drawers. Check his drawers.
All right, you got guys at the corners.
Ooh. Real quick, I did want to get on in some NBA news here. The Cavs signed Kenny Atkinson as their head coach. He was at one time head coach of the Nets. And JJ Redick, I think we talked a little bit briefly on Thursday, but he said, I don't fucking care in his interview about the expectations and things like that in the media. So JJ already saying, "Hey, I don't fucking care. We're going to handle business the way we need to handle business." Johnny, thoughts on both Redick and Atkinson hires?
I like the Atkinson hire. He never should have been fired from Brooklyn. That was a Kyrie and KD move to get rid of him from Brooklyn because he did a good job in Brooklyn. As far as JJ Redick, he's reading the script that LeBron and Clutch Sports wrote out for him. So I'm saying he's doing exactly what they tell him to do, and I'm saying he's gonna be there sipping wine with his boy LeBron, and I'm saying we see what happens. I mean, I'm not gonna doubt his basketball IQ. I'm saying, I mean, that he's all about watching tape, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try and act like doubting his basketball knowledge, but to go from never coaching ever to now you're coaching basically your boy, what I'm saying, that's a pretty high dynamic, and there is high expectations. You know what I'm saying? So you can't.
There's been precedent for that recently. Jason Kidd, Steve Nash. Steve Nash was like not even around the game.
Yeah, and how well did that go with Steve Nash?
All right, so
and the Jason Kidd thing, you talk about one of the greatest point guards ever in Jason Kidd. Like JJ Redick was a good role player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And not that you have to be a great player
of all time, though.
Yeah, college. This ain't college. This is the NBA, bro. I think my biggest thing is how do you go from being cool with somebody like that to all of a sudden, like, are you going to be able to be strict? Are you going to be able to like demand the locker room and make sure that the guys are listening to you, right? Hold people accountable, or they're just gonna be like, come on, JJ, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's gonna happen with that? So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not gonna doubt his intelligence. Obviously, he knows the game of basketball, but nobody has any idea how he's gonna do as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we'll see what happens. I ain't gonna front. I hope it's a complete. I'm hoping for complete chaos. To go down there. I ain't even gonna front.
I agree. It's gonna happen, Johnny. Number one. Number two is that roster any better because JJ Redick is now the head coach?
No, the roster
again. That roster ain't like. See,
it's
again, the roster ain't bad.
It's solid. It's
right,
solid.
And you got a top 6-7 guy in AD. You got a top 15 guy in you know what I'm saying, in LeBron, and like that's not enough.
LeBron. It's not like LeBron's damn near 40, yo.
Right. But yeah, ESPN and everybody else talks about that he's still a top 5 player. Like stop it. You know what I'm saying? You can't say he's a top 5 player, but then say he needs all this help. You know what I'm saying? Make up your mind on that.
So this, I already told you, when I saw LeBron with my own 2 eyes, I had again admiration for him. Well, Saturday I went and played at the rec center here where I work out every morning. They had a run going. I was like, shit, man. All right, I was feeling froggy, so I'll fucking run. And fuck, but I was like, man, LeBron 2 years older than me, and I'm over here 37. He's 30, I think 39. I'm like, damn, my knees was hurt. I was done for the rest of the day, and I wasn't going nowhere near as hard and as fast as LeBron. Now he obviously in better shape, but I mean, I was like, I don't know. I told the guy that was guarding me, I said, man, I'm old. LeBron said I'm 37. He's like, you move good for a 37-year-old. I said, I'll take that as a compliment.
Right. Two things, Johnny. I'll ask you. Number one, where do you put the Lakers in the West next year? Who's better than them next year?
In the West, the majority. Denver's better than them.
Denver, Minnesota.
Minnesota is probably better than them. Yep.
Dallas,
if Kyrie can figure out what the hell's going on, and I'm sure they're gonna tweak a little something in Dallas.
OKC.
OKC I got up there.
That's 4 or 5 teams right there.
Yeah, that's already 5 teams right there. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Clippers, depending on what the Clippers do.
We don't know what Phoenix, if they could get stuff figured out, but Phoenix to me is in the same boat as LA.
Yeah.
So here's what we're saying.
Sacramento could be better than them.
Sacramento could be better. There's a lot of good young talent in the West, bro. So
the Lakers at best are a play-in tournament team.
Yeah, 7-8. They're a 7-8 team. Yeah, they're a 7-8 team.
That's what they've been the majority of the time that he's been there.
So are we saying Redick is better for that team than Darwin Ham was? I'm not sure.
No, dude, they were just in the Western Conference Finals last year.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
That's-
saying? So
Number
it's
two.
like
Number 2 is JJ Redick had a vote for all defensive team. He did not vote Anthony Davis in the top 2 teams for all defensive team. Anthony Davis was pissed
that's the
beyond
right
belief.
there, that's
And
just
guess
dumb.
what? JJ Redick is his coach now. The guy that didn't.
According now, I want to ask y'all 2 things real quick. I want to just 2 things is that they said they went to AD about the hire. AD really was supportive of JJ, and also John, you mentioned the buddy LeBron. Allegedly, LeBron and JJ Redick didn't talk about the head coaching position until 30 minutes after Redick took the job, which I think is bullshit. We all got to call.
I was about to say, yeah, come on now.
Let me ask
Come
you
on now.
this.
Just like Clutch Sports ain't controlling where Bronny can and will and won't work out at. You know what I'm saying? Like, come
After
on, bro.
they finished the podcast, LeBron and Redick talked and said, "Hey, LeBron, when I get to be the Lakers coach, you can run the team. I'll just be the head coach."
I really think the Danny Hurley thing was a front.
Yes,
I think they did that honestly just to make it look like they weren't going to go directly to JJ Redick.
I think it was both. It was both. It was like we called it. We said it was a win-win for everybody.
Right. But if the Lakers really wanted him, then they would have offered him even more to make sure that he comes. That was just a show. That was just for show. That was just eyewash. Oh yeah, we're going after this coach here. Oh well, he didn't take it. All right, well then we'll go with JJ Redick. Come on, man. There's so many other qualified coaches in this league that could have been a coach. But I got the Western Conference here. Like, depending on what the Warriors do, I would take a Steph Curry-led team over the Lakers team.
I mean, Clay.
That's what I'm saying. Depending on what they do with that, like you mentioned, the Suns, the Mavericks, the Timberwolves, Nuggets, Thunder, the Sacramento Kings could be good. If this Houston Rockets team adds a good piece or two, they got some good young athletic players on that team. We don't know what's going to happen with the Pelicans and Zion if he can stay healthy. So yeah, the Lakers are a top 10 team. They're anywhere from 6 to 10. Yeah, they could be anywhere from 6 to 10. But they're gonna wind up finding a way to make a move for a Trae Young or somebody like that to come on to the Lakers to get them another superstar in LA to help them out. So we'll see what happens this offseason. But I like the role players that they have on their team.
Let me ask you guys this: which fan base is more delusional?
You need
Laker fan base or Cowboy fan base? Because every year they feel like it's their year, and I think it's the Laker fan base at this point in time might be more delusional.
Well, they're usually the same fan base. Usually, Dallas Cowboy fans are Laker fans. So
what did they take a banner for? What did they take a banner for, Nick?
In season banner. That was LeBron.
Two-run
bro. That was all LeBron, dude. Like, how do you hang that banner? That's such an embarrassment, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro.
I will say.
Go ahead,
I will
Scott.
say I'm passing on that because I think once NBA season starts, every Laker fan's gonna say we're winning the title this year.
That's what they were saying before this season.
That's
like
right.
Before this season, they were one of the favorite teams to win the West.
Yeah,
that's
right.
They
got
no chance
swept
the title with the West. You're not even getting. You might not even get out of the first round. To be honest with you.
Right.
Number 2,
they may not even make the playoffs.
Delusional because Jerry gives them hope and gives them all kinds of. We believe in Jerry with this, that, the other. Well, when's the last time you were in a Super Bowl or even won one? Come on, Cowboys fans. You did nothing this year. I don't want to hear you on Twitter or I don't want to hear you anywhere saying you're going to win the Super Out this year because you're not even going to come close.
I mean, at least Dallas every once in a while wins the division or something like that. Like, you know, four out of the 7 years that LeBron's been there, they've been in the play-in.
One happy.
So if there was no play-in, they don't even make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So again, you know what I'm saying? And
he's been there 7 years already.
Oh, now you've done it. Now you've done it. You've awoken Allen. You've done it now.
It's been okay. It might have been 6 years.
Lakers fans, look at who's in the West. There's no shot to get out of the West. None.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Who would have thought Dallas? Who would have thought Dallas was going to make it out of the West? You know what I'm saying?
As
you
we
never
sit
know
June
once you get to the
24th, I would say that they don't have a whole lot of shot, but that might change come October.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ah,
You mentioned they scored. The Panthers scored. It's 2-1.
6-1 Tennessee right now.
Yes.
Ooh.
You're a little ahead of me.
What's up, puppy?
Which
You
is
want to
funny.
get a camera? Want to get a camera?
Oilers, you better start scoring here.
2-1.
That kid that hit the 2-run homer was all smiles as he went around.
That brings me to the Cowboys. We were talking about the Cowboys, and it's being reported Mike McCarthy and the coaching staff are sick and tired of Jerry Jones. Pretty much his shit. I mean, is sticking his nose where it don't belong. It's already, I mean, this is Big Mike's last. He's on his last contract here, so like it's win or go home for Mike and really Dak and a couple of these other guys. And this roster isn't set up for that. And I think they're saying they're sick and tired of Jerry sticking his nose in their.
Mike, what are you doing, Mike McCarthy? What are you doing?
Raise your hand if you saw this coming.
Right. I mean, he's been doing it the whole time that he owned the team. You know what I'm saying? He's the reason why Jimmy Johnson left.
I read somebody wrote, I think it was Matt Miller wrote a great article about it. He said Jerry gambled in the 90s and won big, and he's been gambling ever since. It's just not happening.
When Mike McCarthy took this job, he didn't know Jerry was going to do this stuff.
They should have.
That's what I'm saying.
They had a sleepover.
This isn't real.
Yeah, they had a sleepover at Mike's house. Mike lied to him about saying he watched all the Cowboys tapes or some shit too.
Right.
He watched zero Cowboys tapes. Zero.
And then he said, I lied, we got drunk and I was just bullshitting at a certain point.
I woke up and I signed a contract. I don't know.
well, Jerry, I watched all your games. This is
is anybody surprised? The only thing that's surprising about that is that it got leaked out.
Ooh, look at that run. Whoa. What just happened?
Nick said, "Get them the hell out of here." That's the only surprising thing is that it got leaked out. Of course, everybody and their mother is tired of.
God, that run to home base was epic. That run to home base was epic.
That's to me. That's not news. They, like you said, they know that they're linked this year. So why not go out saying whatever it is you want to say?
Yeah, if they don't win the division, Jerry could get rid of him in the wild card playoff game before that.
We got rid of him at week 3. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's Jerry Jones.
That last year, though. We thought that last year that Mike would be fired at halftime of the Packers game, and here he is still got a job.
All right, here's a question. The Cowboys win against the NFC South wild card playoff game. Okay? Does Jerry keep Mike McCarthy on past this year if he wins one playoff game, or is he still gone?
No, I think he's still gone. If he don't make it to the NFC title game, I think he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah. I have to agree.
Yeah. Well, who's the next coach? Belichick?
I mean, I don't.
With this 24-year-old girlfriend.
Hey, I was saying they got some hot 25-year-olds out in Dallas, baby.
They're off on vacation.
They're known for their cheerleaders.
Yeah.
His daughter's coaching lacrosse at Holy Cross. Belichick's daughter.
Oh, so he's got the pipe. He's got the pipeline to all them college girls.
Ooh,
he does.
I'm gonna be sick.
Into that. Also, in other NFL news, real quick, it's being reported that the 49ers are having like a sit down with Brandon Ayuk trying to figure out this contract.
Did you have to talk about us on social media, Brandon? That wasn't very nice, Brandon. That was rude, Brandon. Sorry.
I think Ayuk's going to Washington. I think he's done in San Francisco after this year. I think he's going to play with Jaden Daniels. I think.
Huh. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I was kind of feeling like Packers for some reason, but I think they're
No, the Packers got a great wide receiving core this year. I think the Packers.
I heard Steelers were interested at one point.
I can see Steelers.
Yeah, I can see Steelers, something like that. Why would you want to go to Washington, bro?
Because Jaden Daniels was his quarterback in college at Arizona State, so he wants to go. Him and Jaden Daniels have been texting back and forth for like since Jaden Daniels got drafted.
That's fine. Go to Washington and never be heard from again.
Yeah, he wants to play.
God dang!
And all this, he thinks they're going to be a great team. I don't see it.
I mean, I think Jaden Daniels might be pretty good, but that organization has a lot to do before it actually is competing for. Especially with Philly. what I'm saying? Even though Dallas is delusional or whatever, they still always draft well, have pretty good talent. So yeah, I'm not going. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go to Washington, but whatever.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't either. I do think the Steelers make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Him and
He seems like a Steeler. His style of play, stuff like that. He seems like a Steeler, yeah. Or Raven.
The only
nothing.
question I'd ask of him is, does he want to play in the cold weather? Since he's been in San Francisco for the first 5 years. But other than that, yeah, Pittsburgh makes sense. What about like Minnesota? Boy, would that be something?
They just paid everybody. They paid JJ.
Yeah.
They can't pay him too. You got to look at teams because he's wanting to get paid. You know what I mean? So
basically went to the Rams or the Seahawks. Or
they're not going to trade him there. They can't trade him. They're not going to trade him.
Well, after the season's over, when he's a free agent, he signs with one of those two. I mean, that's the whole thing. So.
They'll figure something out. He's all pissed off now, but as soon as they pull out the contract, then he'll be happy. He'll be happy to sign.
That's everybody, though. I mean, Clay Thompson is now on the Warriors. You know what I mean? And
and I was about to say that's just the generation now with the whole unfollowing on social media and stuff like that. You know, they're making fun of. Why are you talking about it on social media? That's what this generation does.
Brandon.
I don't know if you guys would agree, but if they pay Ayuk huge money, then you got to pay Debo huge money. Then you got to pay
Ayuk's the last guy to pay, and they can't.
Debo got his money. Debo got his money. This is the time to pay them though now, because like Nick said, you don't got to pay Brock nothing
for one more year. I think 1 or 2 more years for Brock Purdy. Yeah,
right. Yeah, but you could. You know what I'm saying, you can pay Brandon Ayuk, but.
The thing is with the NFL now is teams are successful when their quarterbacks are on rookie contracts. Joe Burrow went to Super Bowl on rookie contract. Brock Purdy went to Super Bowl on rookie contract. Mahomes was making the first time they went a lot of less money than he's making now. So that's the whole thing is you got to get it now. Because
you can build the rest of your team.
Build around
everybody else. Build everybody around it. I mean, look at the Texans. That's what they're trying to do right now. Before they pay CJ, they have to pay CJ Stroud.
Well, the Patriots will build a wall around Drake May because he'll be on a rookie contract. So, the Patriots may make a Super Bowl next year.
They ain't paying nobody up there, Scott. I was just going to say real quick, the unfollowings like that couple on Facebook, every time they fight, they unfollow each other, and they change their profile picture and then single, and then they pop up. Then next week later, they pop up pregnant, and you're like, I thought y'all just unfollowed each other and everything else. Now you're pregnant. Doesn't make no fucking sense. So,
we have a shared Facebook now.
Right.
Yeah. Now you have a shared Facebook.
We had to have that one more. We had to have that one. Yeah, we had to have that one more makeout session before we totally broke up, and then she got pregnant. Couldn't break up.
Now we're together again. Yeah, now we have a shared Facebook.
I stand by her and my child. I stand by them.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Hot tour. Hot tour, y'all.
And she's together. That hot tour. I love her and the Oilers girl. I love them both.
Where has she been my entire life? Where has she been?
I love them both.
Her parents took me out to dinner to an expensive place. I had no choice. I had to go back with them.
There we go, Scott. Changing pictures. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm in line. Tennessee. The Dodgers come through. I'm going to hit this parlay. I got to hope the Dodgers come through. That's
that kid that hit that home run. Woo!
The White Sox.
Are
they supposed to be second in the division, Nick?
White Sox are horrible.
I mean, they was going to be.
It's 0-0 in the 7th inning. And White Sox Dodgers. Mookie's injury.
That's all it takes is one good pitching performance. You know what I'm saying? What's that old saying? You know what I'm saying? Motivation is only as good as the following day's starting pitcher. Yeah.
Yeah. She got fired from her job apparently. Who is she got fired from her job apparently? Who is that?
I guess the Hawk tour.
But she just signed an endorsement deal for like T-shirts and everything. She'll be.
I didn't. Nick, I watched the Fever game the other day. Do you understand what that coach is doing with Caitlin Clark?
That's what we were talking
No,
about.
that's what we're talking about.
98% of the time, she doesn't drive to the basket. It's like, Caitlin, you go set up at 3-point range. We'll just pass you the ball. You pass it away, and you go around her. We'll pass it back.
Right.
She had 10 shots in the game at one point. 8 of them were threes.
Yeah. We talked about that earlier, man. I think she's in over her head. Like I said, I don't think she's purposely sabotaging the team. I just think she's getting out coached. She's getting out coached, and she makes no adjustments. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I mean, Angel Reese is a phenomenal rebounder, and she's a good defensive player. Her offensive game ain't nowhere near that, but she was destroying Alyssa Smith, destroying her, and you make no kind of adjustment at all to help the girl out. And then in the last quarter, you run no plays at all for Caitlin Clark. She had 4 shots in the second half. Like, how do you not have a bunch of set plays to get her an open look? You know what I'm saying? Like she doesn't do it, man. And then she went away from the pick and roll. Yeah, we talked about it when we first started the show. Like it's infuriating. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the thing is that, to be honest, like, you know, like I'm from New York. I'm a Liberty fan. I love Sabrina Ionescu.
I love her too.
She is phenomenal. It was the same issue her first 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just letting her run free and make plays for the team, they kind of tried to box her into playing a certain way, and it didn't work for her until they finally let her loose these last couple of years, and she's exploded. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be the similar thing with Caitlin Clark. It's going to have to be a coach that's going to basically put the right pieces around her and Aaliyah Boston and just let her run around and cook. You know what I'm saying? They're at their best when they're, you know what I'm saying, when they're fast, you know, when they're going fast. And for all these people that want
they're at their best, but I don't know. Some of her teammates are at their best when they're going fast, because I've seen some of these passes, and
I was just about to say, because one of the biggest complaints is, Caitlin Clark leads the league at turnovers. Well, but do you see these girls can't catch? Like, there's some of these passes, like yesterday, it was a beautiful outlet pass, like and it completely, you know, went through her hands. Like, it happens at least 3 or 4 times a game. And then she had 13 assists, which broke a record for the Fever. She should have had like 18. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But some of these girls missing wide open layups. You know what I'm saying? So, again, there's a reason why the Fever had the number 1 overall pick. They're not very good. Right. Yeah. 2 years in a row, and the year before that, they had the number 2 pick. You know what I'm saying? So they haven't been good these last 3 years, but you would think that these are the 3 building blocks, which they should be. We talked about it before, the whole Alyssa Smith. We don't know what's going on, but she's been balling out, even though she got cooked yesterday by Angel Reese. But there's not that much more talent on that team besides Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? Then a couple of the other players are basically people that the coach has known and brought to that team. And she gives them so much playing time, like it's crazy, dude. Like I said, I think she's in over her head, bro. I think she's in over her head.
Hold on real quick, Scott. Okay, get this out. Over the last 2 seasons, when the Panthers are up after the second period, they have not lost a game.
Woo! Yeah, game 7 record 4-0 for Marie.
Well, I mean, there's 6. The last 2 years they said they just. Hold on, let me get this stat. I'm gonna rewind it because I'm gonna get the stat right.
Yep.
But they just said it. 68-4 last 72 games after 2 periods. So 68 wins, 0 is that 0 losses and 4 ties in 72 games.
I think Florida did what they wanted to do, which is have the lead after the second period, number 1, because now they can just sit back and play defense third period.
That's what we talked about.
Number 2, the 2 things with the Fever. The coach in a timeout told them to play faster. She's telling them to play faster. And they're committing turnovers and doing everything else when they play faster. That's number 1. Number 2, why do we think Caitlin Clark's going to be Rookie of the Year? Her coach is costing her Rookie of the Year award. Angel Reese looked really good the last 8 games.
Hold on. Well, no, they're not in extra time. They are in the third period. So in hockey, there's 3 periods. We are now in the final period.
Right.
They played 3 period. They played 3 20-minute periods.
So why do
the final period
is the slam dunk for WNBA Rookie of the Year? I
Well,
think
I don't
because
think she is. I think it's her. It's her.
her coach is
Reese.
costing her big time for this.
I think it's a lot closer, but I mean, she still should be leading in rookie voting. I mean, what she does for her team, again, not trying to hate Angel Reese. I like Angel Reese. I like her game, but like her offensive game is limited. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is really about the basket.
She's
a post player. She's a phenomenal rebounder. She's basically, you know what I'm saying, she's a Dennis Rodman, you're saying Draymond Green type of player.
Yes,
You're saying as far as her offensive bag. You're saying she ain't got one. Caitlin Clark does everything else. But again, I'm with you, Scott. I think the coach is holding her back a little bit. Again, why is Wheeler playing in crunch time in the games at the end of the games? Like she's always turning the ball over. She misses layups. Like she's not a very good defender, but the coach is familiar with her because she's coached her before, so she constantly has her in the game. And that girl does not like to pass the ball to Caitlin Clark, bro, for real.
No, she does
not.
No, she does not.
Like I said, there's a lot that goes into it, but I mean, she still averages 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, you know what I'm saying, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Like she's still putting up great numbers, you know what I'm saying, for a rookie. She's only going to get more better and more comfortable. I'm not worried about it. I don't think Caitlin Clark gives 2 shits about rookie of the year, to be quite honest, anyway.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But the impact that she has on her team, I mean, this Chicago Sky team won a championship a couple years ago.
Yeah,
so the Chicago Sky team had some talent. You know what I'm saying? For as much as people were hating on Kennedy Carter for that hip check on Caitlin Clark, like she's a baller. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Caitlin Clark don't got on her team. She ain't got somebody on her team that can get their own shot at any point in time and make a bucket. She doesn't have that on her team.
Well,
it's her, and it's Aaliyah Boston at the low post. That's it.
Here's what I would say. When the fourth quarter comes in a close game, and I agree with what Nick said a couple of shows ago, I think Aaliyah Boston should start low, come up and set a screen for Caitlin Clark, and roll to the basket. And they should play two women basketball.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark comes off the screen, bounce passes it to Boston, she lays it in. Who's going to get involved?
They did that for a big chunk of that game yesterday, but then went away from it.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand some of the decision making. Like I said, I don't think she sabotaged. Like people are saying she sabotaged it on purpose. I don't think she sabotaged it.
She's not smart enough.
I just think she's getting out coached, and you know what I'm saying, and she can't make adjustments. Like again, like Angel Reese is cooking this girl, and you do nothing at all to help her out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I just think she's in over her head. You know what I'm saying? And I guess something came out where Caitlin Clark made some kind of comment or something like that, and she wasn't happy, or there was something about them going at it, going back and forth with each other, which it happens. So we don't know exactly what it is, but you get a more experienced coach there that knows, you know what I'm saying, the proper offense to put Caitlin Clark in, because Aaliyah Boston is a player, bro. So you get a better coach in there. I think you'll have a lot more success there. But I know Jonathan's here. Yeah, I was about to say Jonathan's here. So shout out to Jonathan. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta wake my ass up in 4.5 hours so I can go to work. Great show, guys. Have fun time. Scott, I know I don't want you to not win the money, but my boys want the Florida Panthers to win, so I gotta go with the Cats. So have a great night, guys, and I will see you guys on Thursday, man. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
It's coming back here at 6-3. 6-3.
Uh-oh, Sam. How tight is that asshole?
Sam.
Because I wasn't tight.
Peace out, guys.
We're gonna lose by the bullpen.
Your butthole wasn't tight enough, Sam.
Your butthole was too loose. Right now. No, Tennessee. I want Tennessee to win, but one more run.
We'll go ahead and we'll bring in our hitting coach. He's out there in California. He's been coaching up the boys. They went on a team retreat, a hiking team retreat. Give it up for our guy, Jonathan Grishman, baby.
Hi, Jonathan.
Let's go, guys.
Jonathan, what's up, man? Are you Ubering around? I hope you're not driving in LA traffic or out there in California and trying to be on the phone.
No, I'm not driving. I got one. Actually, one of my players is he's driving me around right now. So I'm driving, being safe in the process, getting from place to
He's
place.
already got a chauffeur. He's already got a chauffeur.
Jonathan, how did the last week go with the team bonding retreat and everything else before we get into some baseball talk?
We as I told the boys, and I kind of a little bit with you guys. This is about experiences out here. Again, we got guys who are not from the California area. We got guys from across. I got 2 players from Maryland that flew out here to California. So, and then we got guys from Washington and Texas. So, it's about experiencing an area that you've never been around. I was here 10 years ago, and I didn't get a chance to experience a lot of the places that that are out here. So we found one of the local kids who's on the team. We found a waterfall, a 2-mile hike in the mountains, and we got to hang out. And my goodness, that water was freezing cold. It was 112 degrees that day, and that water was it felt so good. Just because it was like 65 or 70 degrees, it felt amazing. So it was a lot of fun. We got to hang out. Boys kind of had some time together. I cooked jambalaya for everybody too. So we had a nice little evening afterwards, and just kind of hung out. So. And it helped a little bit. We got a little on it, and we got a win under our belt after that as well. So, again, they're playing good ball. They're still playing good ball, and that's the frustrating part is we still haven't gotten the results continuously or consistently that we were wanting. But we're playing well. We had a chance today to win. We lost today 4-3. We had bases loaded in the last inning. We just didn't get with 1 out. And we just didn't do what we needed to do to put the run across the board, at least go into extras. But these are good kids. They're playing well. They're learning. They're doing their part. And again, part of my job is not just teaching the ball game, but it's helping them experience life, helping them experience things that they haven't seen. And hopefully they'll get a chance to do this again one day. But if they don't, they can go back and tell their kids, as they get older, or their friends or whatnot, hey, yeah, we got to do this, got to experience the area, and that's part of it too. It's not just all about baseball; it's about life as well.
So, Jonathan, the last 2 to 3 years, you've been in three different places. How has the transition been for you? Really good? Has it taken time to acclimate each stop that you've made?
Well, out here right now, I'm actually only out here for 2 more weeks. So it was just a month long being out in California and kind of getting a little bit of experience under my belt as being a head coach at this level. Learning some of the things that I know I needed to learn. I'm taking notes every day about not just myself, but not just for the players, but for myself too. So again, it's picking the brains of people that are out here and kind of had a little bit more experience than I do. I'm a student, even no matter how old I get, and been around younger coaches. At the end of the day, I'm still a student of the game, so I have to learn. I have to still pick, kind of find some things that I need to improve on. But it is different mentality with the area that we're in, the culture that we're in. Whether you're in Arkansas or going down to South Texas, where I'll be at here in August, out here in California right now. Everybody, there's a different style. Everybody in the style of baseball. I've had to adjust. There's some things right now that I'm doing with these boys that I don't like doing. I'm not as I told you, I am not a small ball coach, and I probably had to call more bunts this week than I've done in probably 3 years as a coach. Just because it's a little bit different. There's some things that we do here that they do here real well that it's fitting than my style of offense that I want to have my players do. So I had to adjust. I have to I had to learn when to make my adjustment. When do I need to call different things and play a little bit more small ball and do a little bit, maybe even again, not try to force it, but sometimes you have to manufacture offense to get some runs across the board and help your pitching staff. So it is a little bit different, and it's something that again, it's part of the learning process. Because again, there might be a day, as much as I want to stay down south, coaching down in Texas or Louisiana, there might be a point where I get an opportunity to coach in the West Coast. There might be a point where I get to coach in the Midwest. And the style of baseball is different. So, it's learning different styles is just part of the job too.
Good coaches.
If you coach up in Missouri, Nick said you should stay at his house. So just so you know.
Yeah. Amen to that. Come to Missouri S&T. Good coaches change their style to fit their players.
Absolutely.
You got to fit you know what I mean, especially what you're doing, because you're not out to recruiting kids to fit your system right now. You're getting, you know what I mean, this is the team you got, so you got to change your style to fit what works well with them, and that's just good coaching, Jonathan. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the College World Series. It is up, Tennessee's up 6-3. What is Tennessee? They're the number one team in the nation. Not a single number one seed has ever won this thing since way back in the 90s. When how come that has happened that way? Why is this the curse? And how Tennessee to be able to maybe pull this off tonight?
Because in what other sports wish they have, especially in college, I'm just saying college, because we see college football. We'll always see Georgia or Alabama in it. We'll see Ohio State in it. There's no parity does not exist. No matter what anybody says, you may have one team jump into the tournament in college football, but very, very, very rarely. Basketball, same thing. College basketball, you may have one or two teams kind of jump in there, but it's still the blue bloods of the sport. Baseball doesn't work that way. You will have parity in this sport, and it's been that way for a very long time. It is hard to be a number one seed, no matter what. There's no advantage. There's no advantage to number one seed because you still have to go out and play the game, and guys are at that level are still talented, no matter if they're from what we've seen years ago with Coastal Carolina. We saw with Stony Brook. We've seen small programs just absolutely come out and they can compete and hang out and hang with these teams. It is parity in college baseball. So when you have that ability to just make the match any team you have, the number one seed does not have the advantage like the other sports do. Tennessee is the exception right now because they're loaded with their older team. They are absolutely loaded with talent from the arms. They even though they lost one of their big arms last year in Chase Burns, went to Wake Forest, they were still loaded with talent, and they have the offensive power that they do as well. You have great hitters up and down that lineup, and so they're the exception to the rule right now, and they're going to prove it in the next couple of innings, I'm sure, that they will be the first one seed to win a World Series in quite a long time.
God, I hope so, Jonathan. God, I hope so.
To update you, since you're in the car right now, it is top of the 8th. Tennessee's up 6-3. A&M's got the tying run at the plate with 1 out.
Yeah, I said it's not a given. It's not a given right now because again, A&M is a talented team as well. They have battled.
They crushed them in game one. They crushed them in game one.
They have battled in the SEC against Tennessee before, against LSU, against Florida. I mean, they're battle tested. So if it's a team in the country that can make a comeback and take it away from Tennessee, it is Texas A&M.
Yeah, all year long, Tennessee's been the best team in the country, for so to speak. So they deserve to be in this position right now. They just struck out a guy, so there's 2 outs now. But yeah, I agree with you. Tennessee has a team loaded top to bottom in terms of talent. So they've recruited well and they've played very well. So
I'm gonna be sick.
Well, to answer your question real quick, I'm not too sure. It says maybe Scott will know. Saying pre-2019 Cups and Ice.
Come on, Kirby.
What's the history in that? I've never heard that. Have you, Scott?
What's that? Pre-2019 what?
Our pre-2019 Cups and ice hockey doesn't matter. Haven't heard that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
What do you mean?
I've never heard that either.
Yeah. With baseball guys.
We have to ask Jim Biringer next Monday. If
I beat the Orioles, Jim. I beat the Orioles. Jonathan, I beat the Orioles.
Real quick, I think it was the Nationals and the Rockies. The Rockies win on a walk-off a pitch clock violation. How do you feel about that? This happened in 2 years with this pitch clock violation.
That is the worst way to end a ball game. It is, and I understand it is the rule. It's the rule. I get it. Can't end a ball game that way, but it's the rule. It's no different than it's a balk. We've seen balk into the ball game. There is an awareness that I look at it and say is no different than balking with a runner on third. It's the winning run. You have to have awareness of the situation. You have to have an awareness.
The shot clock, right? In the NBA or in basketball, right? The shot clock goes down and the game's over.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but the difference is we've had the shot clock for a very long time. The NBA was still really new, a pitch clock. So, I mean, we haven't seen that very often. Very, very rarely right now we see a pitch clock violation be what ends the ball game. So I think that's just like one of those things that's just a sour taste in your mouth. Like, really, that's how we're going to end this game? But again, we're as we know, the pitch clock's not going away. They're continuing to fine tune and in their own words, improve the pitch clock. So it's not going away. You have to have awareness of the situation as a pitcher and a catcher. You have to have awareness of what the clock is and be ready to go from there. So, do I absolutely hate it that's how the game ended? 100% I do. But shame on it was the Nationals that it went against, correct? It was the Nationals that it went against.
Yeah. The Rockies won at home on a walk-off. It was a walk-off.
Shame on the Nationals. Shame on the pitcher, and shame on the Nationals for not being aware where the clock was to at least be ready to go and prevent that situation from happening.
Jonathan, didn't they cut the pitch clock down by 5 seconds between last year and this year? Or didn't they cut it down? So I'll bet you if it had been the old pitch clock, it wouldn't have happened. But because
I didn't know that. I didn't know they cut it down.
Yeah, they cut it down.
Yes and no, but at the same time, again, the awareness has to be there.
Absolutely.
Like, there's not an excuse.
On the whole team, right? Like the whole team, somebody could have called time. Catcher, a teammate should have faked the injury. You know what I mean? Something.
The other thing, before Jonathan goes, the other thing with that, Nick, is you only get 5 trips to the mound or one timeout per batter. So they may have already used the timeout or all the trips to the mound. So the pitcher, as Jonathan said, he's got to be aware. The pitch clock is right there. You can see it. If you see you're at 9 or 8 seconds, you better get on the mound and get your pitch thrown, because if you don't, that's going to happen. And that's what happened. So
is it on the ump too, maybe, Jonathan, like knowing the situation, or they just got to say, hey, that's the rule, because luckily this is just a regular season game, but imagine this was like game 5 of the World Series or, a postseason game. And
we talked about that we talked about that when the rule came out that the pitch clock was going to be a thing. We said it's going to happen when this gets called in the postseason.
It's been a thing where it costs a team a game.
But the umpires are going to call it by the rule. I mean, you can't ask the umpire to be this one moment, this one time when you feel that buzzer go, you cannot call pitch clock violation. You can't ask them to do that. This is not an umpire problem here. This is the Nationals' problem. This is a pitcher for the Nationals.
It is, but I'll say this. But we see in other sports, a la the game clock in in football, where maybe they give them just an extra hair of a second. You know what I'm saying? Where it doesn't hit 0, you get that 0-0 before you hit high. You have to say hike.
I think they do give him. I think they give him one tick if they see him go into their windup. The clock stops. It's when you go into your windup. So,
and that wasn't the case in this situation.
And the guy must have just been standing there waiting for a call or something when it went to 0. Because if he's going into his windup, you make the pitch. That's it. Even if
they were saying this guy's a notoriously slow pitcher.
Yeah. You better hurry up. You better throw the ball fast. Because, I mean, you can't stand there and look at the clock and say, oh, well, there's 5 seconds left. Maybe the umpire will give me 2 extra seconds. Can't do that. You got to throw your pitch. So.
And also in other news, sticking with pitchers doing dumb stuff, Edwin Diaz comes in to try to, save the Cubs to beat the Cubs for the Mets yesterday. And he's got a little sticky shit on his hand. Buddy, you're playing the Cubs. You don't have to have sticky shit on your hand. You can just throw us underhanded, and we probably still pitch.
Yeah.
Sticky stuff. It wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on.
I don't see. That's the thing, though. I think Major League Baseball needs to have a little bit more clarity. They have to have a little bit more clarity on what's going on with them. Because, again, a lot they've done. Remember, ESPN did a little backstory about this where rosin and sweat does make your hand sticky.
Yeah, it does.
So how do we determine level of stickiness? And I think Major League Baseball needs to provide some little bit more information to say this is how we grade the level of stickiness on a pitcher's hand. And rosin and sweat is this level, and any other usage that is outside a foreign substance is this level. There has to be a little bit more clarity because
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Nick,
no.
what'd you do, Jonathan?
We lost him.
We lost him.
Who needs that LSU Tiger? Go Vols!
But yeah, but I know. But yeah, I think one time the umpires made a pitcher go wash his hands when they thought it was just rosin and water a while ago, and he washed his hands and he came back out and he still had sticky stuff, and they threw him out of the game because of it. So the umpires have been known to say, "Go wash your hands," and then come back out. And they've allowed it to happen, and it's with the MLB guy supervisor watching him wash his hands to make sure he doesn't put anything on his hands, and then they send him back out in the mound, and his hands were still sticky, and they said, "That's it, you're out, you're gone." So they've made accommodations, but I don't think they are anymore. I think umpires are just saying, if you got anything sticky on your hands, you're gone, no matter what it is. And to Jonathan's point, they need to make it clear what is okay and what is not okay. So
yeah, I kind of agree there. So for clarification, that pitcher for the Nationals was their closer, Kyle Finnegan.
Yeah, he's been in other spots before, and Jonathan's point, he has been slow. So yeah, but you got to know when you're on the mound, you see the clock is right.
You got to have awareness. You got you
got 9 seconds left. You better make sure you get that sign and throw that pitch. Even if you don't get a sign, just throw the pitch. Even if it's a wild pitch or whatever, just throw it. Just throw it. Don't. First guy, I think he's the first pitcher has lost the game because of the violation.
Yeah, it years that we've had the pitch clock that's happened.
Yeah, so
unreal.
Sam,
Tennessee. First of all, I love the kid with the mullet. The mustache.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby's awesome. Yeah, we all love Kirby.
Loved what he has going with the finger Raleigh's stash. But they've gotten out of some jams tonight. I mean, A&M's come up a couple times, in the 6th and in the 8th there where
what? Runner just got picked off. For Tennessee.
Okay. I'll say Scott, he must be about a click ahead of me or so.
Probably, yeah.
He got off at second?
Yeah, they catch it through down to second. He slipped.
Here it is.
Got himself thrown out.
This is it, then. This is it.
Yep. Raleigh Fingers is going back out in the mound now, so.
Yeah.
Hey, it's funny Peyton Manning's in Omaha. Omaha was his catchphrase when he was quarterback.
Oh, that's his production company too. Omaha Production Company.
Yeah. So I hope he's bought the Tennessee Volunteers baseball team something good if they win the World Series.
Well, they haven't won nothing. I guess they didn't even win when he was there. It was T. Martin that won the national title.
Yep. Yeah, it was T. Martin. Yep. So was it, he didn't even
with good old Fat Phil coaching the team, baby.
Yeah.
Nice and steady Fat Phil.
Sam, you obviously went to work today and stuff like that. Is it all Tennessee? Is it all Tennessee Volunteers buzz right now?
Yes, about like right now. Yeah, this game, everybody's tuning in. Everybody's going to each other's houses, and we're all tuned into this. So I mean, this is a big deal. Vols fans, casual and otherwise, will rally behind a team if they're good enough. So here they come. They already had a pretty ferocious fan base already, and now they look at Omaha right now. A lot of it's orange. They went there.
Yeah.
They drank the Jello shots. But it's everybody wants this to work. Everybody is chipping in. Everybody. I mean, you can. I think I saw one guy hey, here's my PayPal or whatever. I spent everything I had to get to Omaha. I need money to get. And I'm like, you're a madman. You hear me? You're crazy. To Omaha, you're gonna burn it on an Omaha trip.
When it's all on team.
I mean, if that's your team, as somebody like I was, when the Cubs, I went to Chicago when the Cubs win the World Series, I would have spent, you know what I mean? Like it didn't cost me a whole lot. Like it just you split gas like 3 ways, and really
Sure.
so that was it. Too.
Yeah.
But had it been more, I would have spent my whole paycheck, and then I would have went and got a loan to make sure I was there. Like that's.
Oh yeah, no, like I would have
Yeah.
racked up a credit card debt, like for sure. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like burn everything I have. You know?
Yeah,
Hey, I would have done whatever I had to do.
I don't
If I had
know,
a chance to go to St. Louis and all for
Nick. I don't know if you saw in your chat, but your adopted daughter Bonnie had her bedroom light on.
Oh,
with
I did.
Judy. And I was like, boom, just in the bed, and I turned the lights off. Busted, said Bonnie.
I don't know if Jonathan lost service here. We'll wait.
The handlebar guy is out. What was he, only a specialist?
Kirby, yeah, he's kind of a closer kind of guy, I think. But I think they feel that
He's not closing the game.
Yeah, he's not closing the game. They took him out.
Yeah, I know. They want this guy. They want this guy. Kirby is not known for like a great fastball. They want this guy to do it.
So Tufel here saying that this thing sucks in Omaha's airport is so tiny, flights cost out the ass. Lincoln no better. 3/4 terminals are military. Beyond that point, Omaha, there ain't shit. Yeah,
This
that's
is
true.
the only time they take people in that airport.
They got the zoo. They got the fucking zoo, the Omaha Zoo. That's it.
Look at the pitching now. It's so much
Baseball
better.
in the zoo.
Yeah, it's just they one time a year. It's like a lot of these other places. NCAA Final Four.
I thought at one point they were moving it out of Omaha.
I
They
think
talked
they
about
were. And then something about the baseball stadium, they had to renovate it or redo it or something like that.
Okay.
And they did. So it stayed in Omaha. This
Nice.
is big business for Omaha. This is the year right here.
Yeah, you think the World Series probably brings 80% of their, like, if you're revenue, right? Like, as far as restaurants, things like that.
I think it's a 2-week thing. I think it's basically 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on how the games go.
This is like the Hall of Fame game to Canton, right? Like they need.
Yeah, this basically.
Yeah.
Well, oh boy,
that happens every year. 6-3 already. I mean, they got a runner on already. Lead off double.
They're running on second.
I know
this guy's just throwing gas. If these A&M players get around on the ball,
I know
it's gonna go a long way.
I know.
So
they ain't wasting nobody. They already warned them up 2 other guys. They said,
well, that's the thing. Why would you take the lefty out unless he was just gassed from throwing 12 pitches? I would have kept him in.
This guy looks a little bit of Paul Skeens. He looks a little Skeens.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like him. Yeah, he does.
Paul Skeens, Scott, I can't. This guy, I'm scared of this guy for the rest of the night. Dude, it was in the 8th inning, his 90th pitch, I think, the other night, and he still was throwing over 100. This guy's
Tommy John waiting to happen.
Yeah,
it certainly is to me. I mean,
it's sad that's the first thought that enters my head, but it's true. I mean, he's gonna rip it. Like
Jonathan can speak to it more because he watched him a lot more closely than I did.
He said Skeens is built different because he's so big. He's bigger, right? Like he's 6'4". He's a bigger dude. So body can handle that pressure of throw. Like because we've talked about it, but man, this kid, he's dynamite. The Pirates got one. Like that kid is going to be, unless he does the elbow or shoulders, you know what I mean, like goes, then it'll be like every other pitcher. You never want it to happen, but right now, I mean, Paul Skeens is just he's the
thing that I'm worried. Yeah, the thing that I'm worried about with the Pirates is they overuse this kid so early in his career that his arm is just going to give out. It's like Strasburg. The Nationals just used him so much early in his first 2 years. And his body just.
In the World Series run, they used him. You know what I mean? They used him a lot, and he was never the same. He pitched his arm off to the World Series.
Never the same. He retired 6 years into his career. He had to retire 6 or 7 years. He's retired. So to me, Skeens, I'm with you. He was throwing the second outing in Chicago. He's throwing over 100 miles per hour in the 7th inning. I mean, that's not normal. That is not normal. So
that speaks to how good he is. You know what I mean? But it's
no
not.
doubt.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No doubt. Sam's having a coronary here because they can't get it out.
Can't make
The
it.
Guardians won tonight. They beat the Orioles, so you got one.
I know. That's an important game. People.
Oh, it certainly is.
They went out there. They were neck and neck for a while, but you have to count on your players to make your big players make big plays. And Jose Ramirez homers late there, and that'll take care of it. And man, boy,
You got one, Sam. You got one, Sam.
Thank God.
You got one in this game.
Man,
So
right
he thought
throwing
that
it high.
Strasburg was going to be a Verlander. I mean, I thought he was going to be really. Strasburg was, I thought for sure, a bona fide like a Hall of Fame type. And speaking of Hall of Fame, Clayton Kershaw on his rehab outing had a hiccup, so he's probably done. I don't. We might have seen the last of Clayton Kershaw.
2 more.
I think so. I just think his body has just totally given out now.
He gave everything he had, man. Everything he had. It's out there. I respect it.
I think if you see the guy again, it might be in like a middle relief role or something because his body is it's gone. It's just gone. He wanted to win the World Series. He did everything he could to win it. They won the World Series. This is what happens. This is what happens. He's an older pitcher. You know.
Yeah, I don't know how many years is. Oh, I'm at the set it up real quick. How many years Clayton Kershaw pitching?
Well, you could cut whatever his years are. You could cut like two or 3 years off of that because of injury. Basically.
Well, you might want to add a couple of years because all the postseason. You know what I mean? Like that's the one guy.
Yep.
So first of all, he's 36, so he's already up in age.
He's ancient in sporting terms.
Yeah, he is. I would seriously think that he might retire after this year. I think that's coming. It's a shame, but it's coming.
So he made his major league debut in 2008.
So 16 years. This is his 16th year in baseball. In the majors.
Oh my God. Just
cash my parlay.
If he plays this year, or this would be his 17th year. He's 16 years. 16, this would be his 17th year.
And the thing with him, Nick, is he's come down to like late December, early January before he signed these contracts with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So he's more and more thinking about hanging him up, I think. You know, he's taken months to make this decision where before it was just, all right, let's sign me to a 1-year contract right after the season was over. So I think this could be it.
Other than obviously 2020, he pitched in over 20 games every year.
Yeah.
From 2008.
It's just all the wear and tear early in his career. You know, he was close to a 300 inning pitcher. He had a ton of strikeouts. It's just all that wear and tear comes back to bite you later in your career.
Yeah, I mean, last year he went 13 wins, 5
together.
His ERA was 2.46. That's still, you know what I mean?
He was the man in the mid 2000 teens. He was the standard in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, and now it's like, I mean, you see him
the Hall of Fame. Whether he pitches again or not, he's a Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall.
He's a Hall of Fame. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. He won't get on first ballot.
Besides Sandy Koufax.
Derek Jeter's pissed he didn't get 100%. I mean, he won't get first ballot, but he will probably get second year eligible.
Oh, no, he'll get first ballot. He may not be. No,
I mean, he won't be 100%.
Ever get 100. Yeah.
He's going to be around 85, 86%.
Strike him out. Just strike him out.
He did.
Struck him
He
out.
did. Don't worry, Sam. Don't worry, Sam. One more to go. I need Tennessee to get this out so I can cash the parlay.
Come on.
And the Tennessee.
Well, I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think so either. I think this guy's going to blow this batter away. This season's over. I think Tennessee's going to win the game right here.
Well, I mean, didn't you have Edmonton in the parlay?
28 is like, I got you, homie. I got you.
Was Tennessee, Edmonton. That was one. Another parlay I did was Tennessee in over 9.5 at plus money.
Okay.
And then I did Dodgers, Royals for a third parlay. So the Dodgers are ahead right now in the rain delay, and the Royals were 4-1 in the ninth. So I might hit 2 out of 3 tonight, which
yeah, the 9.5 is going to hit because it's 10 runs right now.
It's 10, so that's it. So I just need Tennessee to win the game. But the biggest parlay was the Edmonton, Tennessee Celtics thing, and that one's probably not. I mean, still time left in the hockey game, but
it's in the hockey game.
There we go.
We're on the channel here.
Oh, that's what we need. More Panthers renovations, more money. For a 1-16 team, the Panthers made renovations.
Why is that guy going the third? What happened?
Probably a balk.
Oh my God!
Yeah, 9 minutes left in the hockey game.
Florida's playing this 5-guy back defense right now. I think so.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and we'll get up out of here. I don't think Jonathan's going to be able to rejoin us. So, Sam, any final thoughts before we get up out of here? Is your Tennessee Volunteers about
please win this game? Please win this game.
I'm begging you, please.
Stop fooling around. Just win the damn game.
Here's a question. Would you give all the Guardians wins back to have Tennessee win the national championship?
No.
No.
Tennessee will be back. I don't.
Oh, they scored a run over.
That's it.
Wow.
Game's over.
Now it's a 1-run game.
Sam, you're about to win your natty.
Am I really? Are you lying to me?
No, I'm serious. You're about to win your natty.
It's 1-2. Oh yeah, he strikes him out after this. Scott's ahead.
Yes. 6-5.
They win by 1 run, 6-5.
1 run. Yep. First number 1 national champion since what, 99? I think you said Miami.
My phone just exploded.
Yep. Might have been before that. So Tufel says best Vols baseball player Todd Helton. Your guess is as good as mine.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Sam, you going to the parade? Are they going to have a parade?
More than likely, yes. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we fucking go. There we go.
Look at the old guy there. Look at that. We won. So.
Finish watching this hockey game. We'll go ahead. Sam, final thoughts here is the Volunteers are your national champions of the college baseball.
It is great. It is. It's good to be a Tennessee Vol. I say it's good. I'm super excited for those guys. They laid it all out there. They won it. It got tight there at the end, but they got it done. I'm happy about it. This is why we watch. This is what we live for. That kind of thing. Now, oh gosh, I was going to say it's really fun being a sports fan, but some part of me aches for those A&M players just sitting there. It stinks. A very small part. A very small, minuscule part.
They had opportunities. They can't. I mean, they did have.
They had opportunities to take it. Rocky Top intensifies is correct, but hey, this is why we watch it, and it could have very easily been us losing this game tonight. So, but they got it done. Come on home to Knoxville, boys. Let's party.
Take me home,
country road.
So there's a guy down in Tennessee named Alan Bell. There's a guy in Tennessee named Alan Bell who's a big-time college baseball fan. And, he has
I'm aware.
Driving the line. You know who he is?
Yeah.
And he had said when it was 3-1 in the 6th inning, don't worry, there's going to be runs galore scored in the later part of this game. And sure enough, he was right. There was runs galore scored in the later part of the game.
Oh,
no! What?
Oski just saved the day.
Oh, I'm gonna have to turn it on the hockey game now. Shout out to Tennessee. Congratulations on your natty. Well earned, well deserved. The Stanley Cup has been better than we all thought.
I don't know how he saved that.
So I think Bobrovsky's is gonna shut Edmonton down in the last 6 minutes of the game and win the game. So,
I mean, McDavid was right in front of him. They passed it. They just couldn't. Bravosky saves it somehow.
Warrior Bowl names will be announced Thursday night. Two names will be announced Thursday night, and they'll get the spots. So, but shout out to them, those people who win. I did a fantasy football draft before I came on, and I got like Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Josh Jacobs for a combined $35 in an auction. So everybody's sleeping on Green Bay. Everybody's sleeping on Green Bay, especially their wide receivers this year. So
I wouldn't. I would
not. I would not sleep on them. Their wide receivers are one of the best trio in the NFL. Notice I said best trio.
I think people are way too easy jumping in on Justin Jefferson too. We have no idea how they're going to look throwing to him. They are just jumping right in. I'm like, wow, you better hope this works out. That Joker face.
Well, he's a legit receiver. He's one of the best, if not the best, one of the best receivers.
I agree, but can it elevate whoever's throwing the ball? Be it I ain't afraid of no ghost Sam Darnold or the brand new kid that looks like Joker. I mean,
I think the guy you have to worry about completely in Minnesota is Jordan Addison. I don't think he's going to return what they think he's going to return. So I think the top receivers in the NFL this year may not be the top receivers in the NFL this year. I think there may be some other guys that step up.
A shifting, yeah.
I see a shifting of power like an AJ Brown could be good. Amon-Ra is going to be good, obviously. So,
sure.
We're going to get into fantasy somewhere down the line. So I don't want
we're not going to be here Monday, right? Because of July 4th?
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Right.
We'll be here this Thursday.
I think previews start after the 4th of July. I think
after the 4th Thursday we'll do division.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I saw Scott Hansen put on Twitter 11 weeks from yesterday is week 1 of the NFL on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's coming. It's coming, people.
60 days college football and 70 days away from the NFL.
So it's coming.
Oh, man. Here it comes, baby. I hear the train coming.
The Oilers are doing everything, and I don't know if there's 6 minutes what happens, but
I think Florida's going to slow it down. Yeah, I think Florida's going to play this everybody back on defense type of mentality now. I don't think Edmonton's going to be able to score a goal here. So,
rally the troops. He's been on the ice for over 20 minutes. They said so.
He's going to be on the ice for 5 out of these next 6 minutes. So,
yeah, they're sitting there now. I think, hey, this is your last. This is your last a minute rest, and then
you're going to be off for 20 seconds and back on. That's it. That's it.
Goodness gracious.
Play the rest of the career.
If Edmonton wins, they're going to hand him the Stanley Cup. He's going to drop it. He's too tired.
So I don't think he'll be too tired. He'd be jacked up with emotion. But programming up, we'll be back again Thursday night, 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern. We'll talk whatever news comes up from now until Thursday. Plus our June MLB power rankings. So as we approach the end of the month, our MLB power rankings will happen this Thursday. Please check out my last episode of the podcast. I had Tino on from Tino's Time, talked a lot of wrestling, shitty Chicago baseball, and the Bears. So there's that. So that happened last night. So please tune into that. It was a good time with Tino. So nonetheless, it's been another great episode of the LTS show. Scott, you got something real quick?
Put that down.
No, I'm just saying.
He's acknowledging.
Sam's sports world is really good right now between the Guardians and the
Put your fingers down.
Yeah,
put your fingers down. We do not acknowledge him. He's a part-timer.
We acknowledge Roman Reigns as our tribal chief here at the LTS show.
Rock. You can acknowledge The Rock. You cannot acknowledge him. No.
Oh, special guest on the wrestling show tomorrow night. So
that's right.
Note. Special
How about
guest.
it, Scott? Water's fine.
The wise man of the acknowledged.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I enjoyed the CM Punk segment on SmackDown. With
that was bloody.
I did too. That was great. That was
and
great.
the camera work gets better and better
tonight and berated him too. So
yeah, please.
It's all headed for SummerSlam, baby. It's all headed for SummerSlam.
Take me with, by the way. What you want, Paul? I love how Paul hates what he's doing. He hates life right now.
Yeah. No Roman Reigns. Take me with you.
Take me with you.
Did you see the latest? Did you see the latest in WWE? Indianapolis gets Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, all three next year in Indianapolis.
I will be going to all three.
It's starting this year with the Royal Rumble. They said SummerSlam and Mania will be at a later date.
But all three eventually,
all three eventually be at Indianapolis. Starts this January though at the Royal Rumble.
That's a great get. That's a great get from them for them.
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's huge. Nice town. Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they host everything there too, though. I mean, college, all the college sports.
Yeah, NFL in the middle. Crossroads of America. They got you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's
Sam
good.
Sam will be in the front row with Liv Morgan. So
good cry about it. Priest loses, he leaves Judgment Day. If Rollins loses, he cannot challenge the world title again as long as Priest is champion. Okay, so Priest is losing. Priest is losing.
No, I don't think so. I think Rollins is losing. I think Priest is going to lose at SummerSlam.
To Gunther.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. I wouldn't doubt it. So.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the wrestling. McIntyre and Punk to me has been killing it. The Bloodline's been killing it. So
I enjoyed LA Knight asking Logan Paul what his policy was to pee in his pool. I thought that was terrific. Hey, what's your policy? He's in his floaty just in the middle of the pool. That was terrific. I love it. Your friend from LA is here. Who?
Yeah, we'll be back Thursday night, folks. Sam, hit that outro. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you Thursday.
I love you, Stephen Kwan.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.